All right, welcome everybody. So excited to have you join. Namaste. Hey, welcome. I've been so excited about today. So excited about what we're going to experience together. What if today, on today's call, as we join heart to heart, people all over the world, what if something magical happens that just shifts a little bit of perception inside of your mind that allows for a more multiplying and magnifying of miracles in your life. It doesn't take that much. In fact, even I love it on the call recently for the Global Healer Summit. My brother shared this quote. He said that miracles are our natural state when we're aligned with truth. That seeing miracles happen in our life is our natural state when we're aligned with truth. One thing I'm so excited about is starting this upcoming week, we're doing our next 30-day miracle experiment game. We're just from applying 3 of the secrets from this book, Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer. People, already thousands of people have talked about what kind of cool miracles happen in their life. And it's so simple and it's free and it's accessible. It just takes a little shift in perception, a little shift in intention, a little shift in what it is inside of your heart, that how you're leading the day and leading each day. So I just want to say I'm very excited about that and welcome, and I'm very excited about today and about the people who are going to share and about you for coming. So first of all, I want to have everyone just chime in on the chat. What is one thing you're grateful for today? One of the things that you're grateful for today. So just in the chat, you just chime in. What's one thing you're grateful for? Savan says, Namaskar from Northampton, UK. Savan, so good to have you on all these calls. It's so fun. Naeem, good morning to all the participants. Andrea from New York City. Welcome, Andrea. Brandon says he's grateful for water. Jana, grateful for living in a beautiful place. Yane, you're grateful for me. I'm so grateful for you. Actually, today I'm doing a clinic, and Yane is the one that's actually hosting the clinic in Miami. So I'm excited to be able to do that. It's such an honor. Since Dr. Ram passed away, the very first clinic I did was actually in Oklahoma. I see Jerry's on the call. Jerry, so good to see you. It makes me so happy. Also, John's on the call, and being there was so special. Then in Dominican Republic, again, did another beautiful clinic, and then here in Miami. And I've been getting requests to go all over the world and do these clinics. And so we're just trying to figure out how to make it happen. But one thing that I love is that the power of this book and of these secrets is you can do it from home, and the whole goal is not to make you dependent on anyone, but make you independent, make you powerful in of yourself, that you know what you're eating that is poison or medicine, what thoughts you're having in your mind that's poison or medicine. All right, Yukiko says friendship. And Andrea, for humanity, I'm grateful for the presence of God. So beautiful. Lynn, love. Kim, clean, smoke-free air now here in Colorado. Oh, that's such an important thing. Esther, so grateful to be able to join the call this morning. Love being here. Arlene, love this group. Afsana, grateful for breathing. I love that. So good. Actually, I heard one teacher describe a juxtaposition of, he was teaching this seminar, and there's one man who was like a household name. Everyone knew who he was, and said, what do you have to do to feel good? And he says, if I was able to run a marathon in this time period, if I'm earning this amount per year, which was some amount of millions, if my family is happy all the time, like he had all these rules for feeling good. And even though he was a household name, everyone knew him, he's super wealthy, really accomplished, he was never happy, and then he saw someone else in the room. I can't remember what his name was, like Juan, or something. And this teacher says, Juan, what do you have to feel good? And he's like, if I wake up in the morning and I'm above the ground, I feel great. That was his only requirement, to feel good. So I like that a lot of these are so easy things to feel grateful for. Afsana, grateful for breathing. Juana, for my life and my family. Savan, grateful for this moment, this call. So many people are grateful for this call. Teresa, good morning for Portugal. So good to be with you guys. So what I want to do right now is start with a moment of dropping in. And Gary Malkin, I see that you're on this call. Makes me so happy. I don't know if, Gary, you have something prepared. If not, I do. But we always like to take a moment to drop from our head to our heart right off the start. And Gary, would you like to take it for us? I know Gary is in a different location. Let's see, Gary, if you're able to connect. I know it looks like you're on your iPad too.
Yeah, I don't have the ability to play any music today. I just wanted to touch in and say good morning.
No problem. Well, we got this great piece. Gary, the gift of having this genius in our lives is that what he's created can inspire us at any moment, 24/7. And there's a new website that is just been launched and we're just finishing up the final touches. Actually, I'm just going to show everyone this because I'm so proud. I'm so proud of it. Let's see here. Okay, so before I share this piece, I just want to share with you guys this. And I'm going to share computer sound, off my screen for video. So this is the new website here. Such a beautiful website, Wisdom of the World, in which we're really connecting a lot of this gifts of this music that can drop you from your head to your heart, that this genius and dear friend of mine, Gary, created. If you go to offerings, this is so cool. You go to offerings, you go to wisdom cards, you just click on this, you scroll down, and you say, send a wisdom card now. And Mike, if you can keep your eye on the waiting room and just make sure people get in that are wanting to come in, then you see here, there's like all kinds of options of these beautiful, less than 1 minute cards of
30 seconds.
Different beautiful 30 seconds, beautiful messages. So for instance, let's say you have someone in your life, you want to send a card, and then you want to send this message.
Just like the sunrise and the sunset, just like the smile of a baby, just like the beauty of the stars. You are magnificent.
So beautiful. And then right at the bottom, you just put in the name of the person you want to send that little message to, and it's just a free gift you can give someone to just brighten their day. And there's so many of these beautiful messages. So just wanted to make you aware of that. And in line of,
thanks, Clint.
Yeah, this is a little bit longer, but it's a wisdom moment that I wanted us to experience today from Ram Dass. You know, this year we had the transition of many great souls. Dr. Naram is one of them. In fact, coming up soon, I'll just make this other announcement, will be the Global Healers Summit on 12/12/2020, and it's honoring Dr. Naram. Some of the best healers from all over the planet are gathering just to share their gifts, and the whole thing is in honor of Dr. Naram. Even the registration is going totally towards the orphanage that Dr. Naram supported while he was alive. And I just encourage you to participate in that. I know many people are. It's called globalhealerssummit.com. Dr. Naram's master, Baba Ram Dass, was such a powerful teacher and the ultimate teacher in the lineage, Jivaka. You know, this thousands of year old ancient secrets are here for us. Now there's another American spiritual teacher named Ram Dass, who wasn't the same as Baba Ram Dass, but was such a powerful teacher who left his body this year. And thankfully, Gary captured some of his wisdom and pulled it into this clip. And so as we're listening to this, you can either watch the images or close your eyes. I just want you to listen deeply to the words and just feel what happens in your heart. So enjoy this message together of be here now and identifying with your soul.
Be here now. Don't anticipate. Don't yearn for things of the past. Let the past go with forgiveness. And let the future go with no anticipation. Each of us contains a being that doesn't die, and a being that does die. Everything must change, except the soul. Identify with your soul now.
Hmm. Wow. Hmm. Oh, it's so beautiful.
At LASIK Plus, we get it. Glasses and contacts stink.
Advertisement came on. Oh, so beautiful. Be here now. There is a part of us that is part of us that will never die. You know, and there's a part of us that will die. And by identifying with the soul, we identify with the eternal part of us. You know, and I think music, the power of that music, the alchemical message that can bring us right to this moment in time, this sacred moment in time, this sacred heartbeat in which all the stage of the world is shifting, but you always have that still point inside of you, this holy place, you know, this divine instance of you, unique expression of you, in which one of the most powerful things Dr. Ram would ask everyone is, what do you want? You know, what do you want? What wants to come through you? I have a friend, actually, Renia, who sent this quote to me from Saint Germain. It's such a beautiful quote. I just thought I'd share it with you. Saint Germain says, right desire is the deepest form of prayer. Right desire is the deepest form of prayer. And so you can honor yourself and even what it is you want, what you want to experience, what you want to express, and who you are. One thing that I love about our souls is they're timeless. They're timeless. And so I've been so impressed by some of the young people I've been meeting, because age in the context of our souls is, you know, relative. And in some ways it's irrelevant. And some of the kids that are coming in nowadays are so wise beyond what I experienced. And so I actually have several young people on this call today ready to set up to share with us some wisdom that I think will be really powerful. In context of that, I just wanted to say, Afsana says, so beautiful. I didn't want it to end. I feel that way. I feel that way about often these groups. And I've been in that moment of meeting, now that I've started to travel more, meeting so many of you that I've only known through this experience. I was able to meet John, was able to meet Jerry. And for the first time this week, I was able to meet Monica. And Monica, many of you don't know because she's just been behind the scenes doing a lot of stuff, but has helped out in so many ways. And as we were just meeting, we thought, okay, what can we do to make people happy with today? And so we just felt inspired actually to do what Dr. Naram had taught me, which was at the end of clinics. At the end of clinics, sometimes it was 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And we would just go out on the streets of Mumbai. And I thought, why are we doing this? It's so late, we're so tired. We just saw like over 300 people, but he would have us actually go out on the streets and put blankets on homeless people. And so, with Monica, we went out and we bought a bunch of blankets from Target and just went out and met this beautiful homeless woman. You can even see her socks. I said, where'd you get these socks? She says, I found them in the garbage, but they just were fuzzy. So she wanted to wear them, We saw people laying, it was so cold, but people laying on benches were just putting blankets on. We ran out of blankets. So this was actually on Tuesday, on the day everyone was voting. So we finally bought a towel from one of the shops. And the last one we put on someone was a flag. And I thought about, in the context of voting, what is it that we're voting for in our lives? Like every time we're spending money on anything, it's like we're voting for that thing, or anytime we're putting our time and attention towards anything, it's like we're voting for that thing. One of the most powerful secrets in this book, Dr. Ram shares, that's a part of the miracle experiment game, is focusing more on what you want rather than what you don't want. And as you focus on what you want, that desire, honoring that desire, that pure desire that's in your heart, it's a form of prayer, you're voting for more of that thing, And so what I want more of is I want more love in this world. And I see it happening, especially as I'm speaking with these young people. I see a much better future because I'm so inspired by the young people that are here in our lives. And one reason why I feel inspired is because they're doing things that astound me, both in their thoughts and in their actions. So I first of all want to see, Christina, are you here? And Danny, I just want you to just come on screen and I want you to share this beautiful experience. Whoa, Danny, there you are. Fantastic, in space. It's awesome. Danny, can you share what you did this week when everyone else was doing whatever they're doing, watching CNN for crazy mindless hours or whatever, or Fox News or anything? What were you doing?
I was making a bake sale for the orphanage.
Yeah, she was making a bake sale. So originally she was selling lemonade, raised $5, and everyone had her on the call before. She donated 100% of what she earned to the orphanage. And she thought, I can do more. So what did you bake? What were you making?
I made cookies.
Yeah, and I saw Christina doing this live when you're making cookies, and I saw you getting your table ready, and she's asking you, why did you do this? Why were you doing this? What inspired you to do this?
Because the orphans don't have as much money to build a new building.
Yeah.
So I want to help them.
Yeah, these orphan kids, they're building, they don't have the right building requirements according to the government. So the government official came by and said, we have to shut down your orphanage. And so here she is, Danny. She says, okay, what can I give? And she thought of something she could do. And so she created this bake sale. And how much money did you raise?
I raised $29.
Yeah, $29. And the beautiful thing is every dollar matters for these kids. I mean, not only building the building, but literally when I first went there, they were lucky if they had one pair of underwear, and so if the underwear was being cleaned that day, they had to go to school without underwear, and it's such precious money. And the beautiful thing is we know exactly who it's going to. We know that 100% of the money goes to the orphan kids in the project. So there's not all kinds of administration fees and stuff like that. And it's such a beautiful thing to give to. And I love, Danny, I love that you did this. So I just want in 1 minute, just for 30 seconds, everyone can unmute yourself And we just want to go, like, we give Danny lots of love. We say, I love you, Danny. I love you.
I love you,
I love
Danny.
I love you,
We
Danny.
love you,
Love you,
Danny.
Danny.
Love you, Danny.
Love you, Danny.
you, Danny.
Love you,
Love you, Danny.
Love you, Danny.
Love you, Danny.
Oh, beautiful. All right, Christina, you're gonna have to unmute yourself one more time here. Just, I want you to unmute yourself. Danny, thank you so much. So Christina, yeah, let's see if we can unmute you one more time here.
I think I'm not. I think I'm
Oh, there
on.
we go. Oh, super. Thank you, Danny. Thank you for inspiring us by what you're doing and who you are. It's so cool. Anything you want to, any inspiration you want to share with us about how do you feel as a result of giving with so much love in that way?
I feel happy.
Feel happy. Yeah, so good. Well, you're making us feel happy too. Thank you so much for being a demonstration of such amazing, beautiful gift. So I don't know if my brother Scott and Jasmine, I don't know if Jasmine's on, but I want to share that like when you love in this way, it's contagious and people want to share and love. You know, it's the contagious kind of healing. It's a contagious kind of love. Scott and Jasmine, I don't know if you can unmute yourself or come on video, but I just want you to share what it is that you want to do or what your idea is, if you can, if you feel comfortable. And I'm just going to click ask to start video. But I just want a couple of feedback. When you hear this happen, you know, in the midst where so many people were in this conflict of watching the news, like all this anxiety, here Danny was just going about her life in such a beautiful way and creating this beautiful gift. Anyone want to share their reaction when you see something like that? Actually, I can ask a couple people to unmute, but you can just unmute yourself. What does it feel like to see this happen? Liba says, I love the pure innocence of children. Rajani says, it's so innocent, beautiful, Danny. Afsana says, I get very, very teary. Actually, Afsana, can you come on? Can you just unmute yourself? I just want you to share what it is when you see this happening.
Danny, I'm a teacher. So when I see people like you, I just get all parts of my body gets goosebumps. And I actually started to cry. I read about you on Facebook and I found myself, I couldn't stop crying. I was so touched. And I wish the whole world would listen and learn from you. You are so, so wonderful. A real gift to the world and a real gift to us today. Thank you so much. I love you so, so, so much. Thank you. I'm actually crying now. Sorry, my video is not working. When I put it on, I can't hear you. But tears are just running down. I get very emotional when I see such a beautiful act from somebody just like you.
Yeah. So powerful. Rochelle says, I'm so inspired by the beautiful and powerful love children have to give. We are in good hands. Sanjay says, Danny, you are the inspiration for everyone. So thank you, Danny. I don't know, Scott and Jasmine, if you're able to come on, but I know that just even from the post, like you've inspired other kids to become involved. And I'm going to put in the chat for everyone. There is something where everyone, it's a real easy way to just become involved in the orphan home, globalhealerssummit.org. When you join this Global Healers Summit, which has happened in 12/12/2020, not only, I think it's .org, but if I'm wrong, it's .com. So again, it's just one way you donate, you contribute at least $44 for the registration fee, but 100% of that goes to the orphan kids. And at the same time, we're honoring Dr. Naram. We're honoring him on that day. And all these healers are gathering together saying, it's time for us not to work alone. It's not time for healers to be alone or even think we're in competition with each other, but it's time for us to join and really put a different vibration on this planet that can be healing for everybody. Oh, it's .com. Okay, Julia, can you put it in? Okay, globalhealerssummit.com. Thank you for that correction. Liba says, as adults, we have so much we can learn from children because their intentions are so altruistic with nothing but giving in mind. So as we grow older, we forget how to smile and laugh the same and how to be the way it was natural for us to be as children. Thank you, Danny, for this reminder.
Clint, may I say one thing?
Absolutely.
So I have 3 other kids. Danny's my 3rd out of 4th. And I have not asked any of them to do anything for the orphanage. Danny just saw it and decided to help. And to me, she's inspiring not only you guys, but she's inspiring her siblings. And it's so amazing to me that, you know, this wasn't like coerced. It wasn't like, you should really do a bake sale for the kids. I'm so amazed by that as her parent. So she's inspiring me too.
So beautiful, so powerful. And also I want to say that, you know, I'm so touched. Even someone contacted me, they said, hey, I don't want to just give $44. How can I give more? Because I want to support these orphan kids. We have to raise something like $75,000. We've already raised over $30,000, which is awesome. And so there's ways even which we can become involved. On this week, on Wednesday or Thursday, we haven't decided the day, we're actually going to have a brainstorming meeting for anyone who just wants to be a part of these orphan kids' lives and help think of brainstorm ways we can raise money during the holidays for them. And there's so much joy and so much magic that comes from it. I think like one of the simplest things to do is you vote. Like we always vote with where we put money. When you vote for like buying stuff from Danny's bake sale, you vote for a better world, you know, one that's so much better. When you vote for helping these kids, just so many blessings and miracles come back to you. So I just want to invite anyone who wants to participate in that. Maybe Christina, you can put your email address or something in there. So that way they can be a part of that Zoom call, that very special Zoom call, which will brainstorm how we can really help a miracle happen for these orphan kids. Sandra says, Danny, you're the inspiration and love that's everywhere, and you are hope that we can learn from you. Thank you for sharing your generosity. Andrea says, wisdom of babes. Super. The time of the meeting we don't know, but Christina put in her email address, contact her, and we'll be in touch with you about that experience. So thank you so much. Oh, Christina, actually, since we still have you here, also, as the season is changing, one of the benefits of being associated with this group is that you learn ancient secrets that can help you stay healthy. What if you go this whole holiday season and you don't get sick? Actually, I'm just have this question. I'm going to put it on Gallery View. Normally, when the season changes and it starts to get cold, all the holidays come, who gets sick? Like they get a cough and a cold, or they start to get a flu or anything like that. Anyone notice that? So what if it's possible for you to not get sick? Or, you know, when you just start on the edge of getting sick, what if you can resolve that pretty quickly? So Christine, I want you to share your experience of what happened when we were just in Dominican Republic. Because I want people, when they hear stories, they know, oh, I can do that when I need to.
Oh my gosh. So I felt like I was just bothering Clint the whole time. This is probably too much information, but I got diarrhea while I was there. And so I asked him for some help, and he helped me out with that. And then this one morning I woke up and my bones were aching. We were doing yoga and it felt like just so painful to even try and do downward dog. And I thought, this feels like I'm getting sick, but I'm going to tell myself I'm not getting sick. I'm just sore. And so as the day progressed, I couldn't stand up for very long without feeling like I had to sit down. And then I started getting chills, and I thought, oh, this is bad, because it's already 90 degrees in the Dominican Republic and humid. So there's no reason why I should be getting chills. And I told Clint, I said, I'm really starting to not feel well. I think I'm getting a fever. I didn't want to tell anyone else because I didn't want anyone thinking I had corona. And so Clint comes over and he's got this glass, and it's what is it called, Clint? The immune.
Yeah. You know, in the very end of the book, there's a couple bonus remedies. One is Amrapali's secret formula, but then this other one, I'll just open it up to you. It's just like a super powerful ancient secrets for immunity. So it's just this mixture that you mix and you drink it. It's like a tea that you have. So you have 1 teaspoon of honey, 1/2 teaspoon ginger juice, 1/2 teaspoon turmeric powder, 1/4 teaspoon cinnamon, 11 to 12 tulsi basil leaves, 1/8 teaspoon of clove powder, 1 clove of garlic you can grate. Even I gave this to my mom recently when she was sick, and she's like, oh, it tastes like liquid ginger snaps. It's a really good taste. And what happened?
It was super tasty. So, and it was warm, and I drank the whole thing. And as I drank it, I felt like there was energy being put back into my body. And I went and I decided to lay down for about an hour, and I slept for only about an hour. And I woke up, and it was the day of Clint's brother Gerald's wedding. And I was like, I'm not going to miss this. So I went, and I was fine. I didn't feel 100%, but by the end of the wedding, I was 100%. Like I was dancing, I was back to my old self. That has never happened to me. Once you start getting the chills and the fever, it's like, you know, downhill from there. So that was amazing. And I've felt 100% ever since. So total believer.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's so fun. You know, you have experiences where you hear from others, but when you have your own experience, it's like, wow, can it really be that easy? Now, it's not like you can abuse your body and you eat all the junk food that comes with the holidays and then you expect one tea to make it so you don't ever get sick. Okay, so I want to contextualize that a little bit too. There's certain lifestyle things you can do where when you start to live a certain way, you just have more energy naturally. I have some more kids to share on this call, but I want to see if, first of all, if Jacqueline is on this call right now. And Jacqueline, if you could unmute yourself, talk about contagious healing.
Hello.
Hello. So first of all, at one of the events that I presented at in Utah, Mandy, who many of us have seen the emails I've sent out, has had a huge transformation. First day in 10 years, she had a pain-free day. And she was doing the whole detox journey live. And Jacqueline is one of the people that started watching it. And then you started your own journey. And what day are you on?
I'm on 15 today. Today is day 15. And, go ahead.
What happened as a result?
Well, I started actually, we're on an adventure of kind of being on the beach, me and my kids. So when this should normally be when people indulge, the first day I got here was the mung bean soup detox, and I've been on it religiously ever since. And for the last 7 years, I've been trying to heal. I'm not new to natural things, but nothing. Well, not nothing. So things weren't working in my favor. I had stage 3 melanoma, 2 herniated cervical discs, and a blood clot in the brain. And so I've been trying to heal from all the medications and stuff from that happening 7 years ago. And over this 15 days, I have had such steady energy. That hasn't happened since I've had my kids, and my kids are 8 and 10. And I had 24 lymph nodes removed under my left armpit. So that was to keep it from the melanoma from progressing to stage 4. And I always would have fluid pooling in this arm because lymphedema is a side effect of, those toxins not being able to be released. And on day 12, I was doing some kind of gratitude practices, and my hands were like this. And I thought, oh my gosh, like my wrists are the same size and my arms are the same size. And like the flow is happening. And with lymph, you have to encourage it. But to be honest, that I haven't been doing as much. But it's been like the drainage and the natural lymph flow has been happening. And I was like, that's a huge thing. I haven't worn my wedding rings in a year and a half. I haven't because I can't. And now it's like, oh my gosh, I have my fingers and my wrists back. And I don't have the pooling anymore of that fluid. And that is a big, big deal. Joint. Yeah, I mean, I could list. There's a million things I've noticed. I have pretty much no cartilage in my ankle. I was supposed to have surgery before I had my son, but then that's when all the health and stuff happened. And I never had it done, but I was playing tennis with my kids. I had no hip pain, no joint pain. My ankles were fine. I felt like Federer out there, whoever. I was like, this is fantastic. I wasn't hurting. And I was like, oh my gosh, not to be hurting is like a big deal. And I'm an active person, so not to be active is tough. And so when I can like go to the beach with my kids and play tennis and like, you know what I mean? Just jump around like a kid. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best feeling in the world. And outside of that, it was day 5. And I know these clearly because they're like moments in my brain. I was sitting with my kids and it was a Thursday evening. And I literally felt like it's like a veil being lifted, like clarity. Like I was like, oh my gosh, I feel really clear. I feel like crisp,
Yeah.
And I had really severe cognitive deficiency with my post-cancer treatment. I was on it for a year straight. And it was like the first time in a long time I felt like it's like looking through a fog and all of a sudden, or like a foggy window and someone cleans your window. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can like like I feel so clear. And, you know, so it's not just a physical, you know, lymph and joints not hurting. It was such a clarity that came over. And I think part of that has to do with when you're on something like this, that you're, you know, you're taken out of your regular routines of life and your distractions of life, because we can get very comfortable and seduced by those. And so we don't check in with ourselves. And so it allows us, you know, I don't have to go shopping for a million things because I'm eating mung bean soup. It's pretty much all I have is here for the next couple of weeks, you know, and I make enough for 2-3 days. So I don't have to be in the kitchen doing that. And so I have time and I have quietness, you know, and I have, you know, you start to sense when you would have reached for something, or you would have had a tendency to lean towards your distraction. And I don't have to, you know, and it kind of opens up, it's like refurnishing your house. You know, you've got to clean out your furniture in order to make space for clarity and new things to come in. And so I just feel, someone had said, well, I'm inspired by like your sacrifice. And I said, it doesn't feel like a sacrifice at all. Like I feel the opposite. I feel like any little crevice that felt like there was a void has just been like poured into. And I've just been like filled up. And it's such,
even your post recently, you're talking about waking up with lots of energy. You know,
yeah.
instead of pressing snooze 5 times, you have a different quality of enthusiasm in life. And
yeah.
I just want to say, I want to thank you, Jacqueline. What day are you again? Third day?
15.
So
yes.
the last 2 weeks, in only 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
This much change. And then what else is possible? So I want to say thank you, Jacqueline, for modeling and demonstrating this possibility. So for everyone who's thinking about joining the Miracle Experiment game starting next week, you know, what kind of changes can happen right as you're going into the holidays, right as you're going into Thanksgiving, Christmas, where sometimes there's depression, suicide. And what if your normal can be different? You know, what if your energy level is different? What if your clarity of mind can be different? What if you just have 25% more energy or 50% more energy? And it's just from doing something so simple.
Yeah.
So simple. So I want to thank you, Jacqueline, so much for joining. And I know you're on Facebook, and I want to invite you to be part of our Global Healing Miracle Experiment group so people can continue to follow your journey.
Absolutely.
If you have questions, you can ask in that space. And I also know you're a coach and you have a really powerful ability to help other people too. So I want to thank you for coming and sharing that.
Oh, I'm just feel really blessed and grateful to be here and to have been introduced to you and this whole, I don't want to even call it a movement. It's bigger than that. So I just appreciate you very much. Very much.
Yeah. It's contagious healing. There's
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, now talking about contagious healing. So
Hey, Clint. Hey, Clint.
Yeah, go ahead, Gary.
I just wanted to say, I'm gonna leave you all. I just wanted to say, my body clock woke up just in time to be able to say hello and be on the call for a few minutes, but I'm not gonna be able to stay on, but I send my love to everybody. And I'll be on next time for sure.
Thank you, Garrett. And I hope you get to watch this recording, because what we have coming up next is so beautiful, so powerful. So
then I'm going to stick around for a few extra minutes then.
Okay. Speaking about young
I'll stick around for just a few extra minutes. I just wanted to say I love you, and I'll leave then.
Okay, no problem, Gary. Speaking about young people that are touching my heart and changing my life. You know, actually, I mentioned on one of the last calls we had Ashlyn, and Ashlyn's on the call now. She's going to actually share a song in just a moment. But before that, when I was in Oklahoma, I just was walking through the waiting room as I was going out, as I was taking people back, as I was taking their pulse, and I saw this young gentleman sitting there, and I just kind of got this impression of, who is this guy? You know, I just had this sense of this feeling about him. And then finally, when he came in, I took his pulse and I'm like, holy smokes, this is really powerful. This soul, this beautiful soul that's here on the planet. And then as I heard him speaking, I was like, wow, I got to have you come on our miracle call and share some of this wisdom. It aligns so much with what Dr. was teaching. It's not just about what food you're putting in your body, but it's also about what is the thoughts you're putting in your mind. So Parker, if you can come on and just, he has a little insider wisdom that's come to him recently. I just thought it'd be so powerful if he shares this with you, because it has a context that applies exactly to the state of the world right now, everything we're going into. So Parker, I think you have to unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hey, welcome, Parker. Yeah.
Hello.
How old are you, Parker?
15.
15 years wise. I'm going to say 15 years so wise. And, Parker, you've lived through this week with us where so much up and down, so many things, literally the whole world watching a certain process and thinking what's going to happen. But also in the microcosm of our own lives, we get upset. Things upset us. Things don't turn out the way we want. Maybe it's a person that hurts us or offends us or, does something that challenges us. And can you share the insight you shared with me? Actually, first of all, if you want to share anything about having your pulse taken or MARMA or anything like that, that's fine. But also that insight I want you to share.
Well, obviously, I'm not very used to this side of healing at all. Like the MARMA is all new to me, but it's very cool. And it's something I'd like to learn more about.
Yeah, beautiful. So now share that. What is that insight that came to you as you're just experiencing life?
Well, I think the world around us is up for our own, it's up for our own judgment and our own perception of what we take things in value. So you can take things on multiple levels. You can take it on an emotional level and get a lot of value from something, or you can see it for like a physical appearance, like this, like the mouse. I could look at this and just like, oh, it's just a mouse, and then I could also look at it and realize what all this mouse can do for me. How big of a blessing it is to have this in my life, and just to realize how valuable anything is. It's just all up to the person who takes in the information. And I think it's a blessing, since we can all take things on different levels and nothing has a singular value, and everybody can find their own way in life, and you can help others a lot by guiding them, but they have to be strong and find their own way.
Yeah, oh, so powerful. And it's so true. Whatever happens to us, we can take it so many different ways. Every object, every person in our lives, it's amazing. Dr. Ram says the outer world is a manifestation of the inner world. And there's another famous author who says, we don't experience things as they are, we experience them as we are. And in his wisdom, Parker's identified, in fact, the other day when I was talking to him, he says, we can't really take what other people do personally. Can you explain that a little bit too?
Well, so you are your own person, and I don't have much to do with that, because you decided on each and every day to be your own person, live your own life. And so if I could give you some criticism, I probably wouldn't, because but I could give you a way to better yourself. And you could take that personally, say, he said that I have a problem with me. I don't really like that. That kind of hurts my feelings, that there's something wrong. Or you could take it as, he's trying to better me. And so that gives more value to yourself, because you can notice that people want to see you better in life and in every way. So, and also that goes the same way for criticism, not just, trying to help someone, but, trying to tear them down. You realize that, that's a self-reflection. That's something that they see in themselves that's negative. And instead of bringing positive energy, they focus on that negative thought and feeling, and they push it to others.
So powerful, Parker. You know, one of the most beautiful things Dr. Ram taught me is just so much related to the wisdom you already discovered in yourself. He says, if we pay too much attention when people either give us a compliment or an insult, either way, we become anxious and dependent. This is something he said his master taught him, was that someone gives you a compliment and you become addicted to the compliments, or someone insults you and you become afraid of the insults. If you pay too much attention to either way, we become anxious and dependent. And what I understand, what you're saying, Parker, is that people will share things with us, like anything that exists in the world, we can take it any number of ways. And it's up to us to choose how we take those things. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, so you can imagine this is Parker's first time ever sharing on any call like this, but it seems like he's just a natural. Even I hear, let's see, some comments. Liba says, Parker's voice is so strong and powerful. You know, Jacqueline says, such an influence rooted in love for all that cross your path, Parker. I can feel mountains being moved. Lorian says, yay, Parker, awesome sauciness. Thank you. So just for a second, I just want you to get a little bit of feedback from everyone. Actually, anyone have anything they want to say in response to what Parker had shared? Anyone feel inspired that in some way it touched your heart and you want to share in which way it touched your heart? And then Ashlyn, get queued up. Jay, you have something you want to share?
Oh, yeah, I was just trying to get back inside real quick. Just know if you see my picture, it's only just because I have to do something. It's better if I just turn the camera off. Anyways, all right, can you see me good?
Yeah, we can see you.
Awesome, awesome. This young man's name is, look at him real quick. Parker. Hey, Parker, how are you, man? I can't see you, so I'll just talk to you.
How are you?
Good, dude. Awesome. How old are you?
15.
15. There you go. There you go. That's good. Now I see your headphones. I see you have a dark room. Are you a producer? Do you like stuff? What do you do?
I've been trying to make music, but I'm waiting on new stuff to get in for that.
What kind of new stuff? Hardware?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're looking at interfaces, amplifiers, mics. What you checking out, dude?
Interfaces, amplifiers, and a new mic.
There you go. Yeah, I know. Well, I tell you what, I don't know everything about you, but what you said is probably the biggest answer you're gonna run into that question all the time. What should I be doing? No one needs to tell you. You don't ever have to second guess. You are gonna second guess probably, but you don't have to. That being said, your proof and manifestation that our thought process as adults are wrong. We all thought your generation were gonna come out as idiots, and you guys are more sane than us. That being said, I don't like to talk much these days, but good job, man.
Thank you.
Oh, so beautiful. Louisa, I just gonna invite you to give any reflection as you're hearing Parker speak. What anything come in your heart? Jolene says, "Stay with your truth, Parker." Beautiful. Yeah, Lorian says, "I bet you're already making music." Savon says, "I would say what Parker said touched me, as it being true to yourself and being the best that you can be." Beautiful. Louisa, any feedback or thoughts you want to share?
I'm sorry, I didn't pack lunch. I missed it. Parker did.
Okay, no problem. We're glad you're on, Louisa. So glad you're on. And I called you out a little bit. No problem. All right, so Parker, I just want to thank you. So in love of you, we're just going to have everyone unmute yourself for a little bit, and right after this, we're going to have Ashlyn share a song that she's going to sing for us. But I just want for a moment. Rub your hands together like this, and you can unmute yourself and say, "We love you, Parker."
We love you,
Parker.
We love you,
Thank you. Love you all too.
Good job, man.
You
Thank
have
you.
a wisdom of a 50-year-old, I would say, not 15.
You sound amazing, Parker.
Thank you.
Yeah, you do. Like Sarabjit says, you have a wisdom. It feels like a 50-year-old, not a 15-year-old. And we want to have you come on again and again. The Miracle Experiment game is about discovering wisdom that's in you already. About you have all the answers inside of you. And so it's just tapping in, aligning yourself with the truth that helps you to see that in a way that unfolds, looks like miracles, physical, mental, emotional, financial. And so the Miracle Experiment game that's starting up soon, just encourage you all to participate and invite people that you love to participate as well. So next, I'm so excited. Ashlyn, if you can unmute yourself, you guys remember when Ashlyn came on and shared her story about how she felt like she was broken? Do you remember that? Ashlyn, can you just summarize in a minute or two what's been the transition in your life over the last couple weeks?
Hi, yes, this is also kind of what I wanted to talk about and how it all ties into the song I'm going to sing. So like my whole life, I've kind of just had this idea that I was broken and I need something to come and just fix me, basically. And basically at the event in Utah, I kind of had this realization that there's nothing broken in me. There's nothing that needs to be fixed. Like I have everything already inside of me that I need. And so that's kind of a big thing I've been focusing on lately. And I feel like my whole life I've been waiting for something, or someone, or this big realization, or this big aha moment to just like make everything make sense and make everything better. And it's kind of all about the little things, is what I've realized a lot lately. And so like, instead of making all these like big goals, it's important to start out with like the small things. And so this week, my one goal this week was to make it outside every day. And there's this park a few minutes from my house that I really like to go to. And so I made it to that park every single day this week. And it's just all about the little things. Like, it's all about making sure you're drinking enough water and eating food and doing all the little things that build up so that you can make those big changes in life, because there's not going to be this one big thing that just changes your life. It's about the small things.
All right.
Beautiful. So beautiful, Ashlyn. Love it. Shay, you're unmuted. Did you have something you want to share? No. Okay, no problem.
Sorry about that. Sorry, no, I went outside. Sorry.
No problem. You're welcome to come in anytime. Ashlyn, such a powerful insight just about the simple things and doing the simple things which can change your life. And tell us about the song that you have to sing.
It's probably a song you've all heard. It's called What a Wonderful World. And it's just all about like the small little things in life that we kind of just glaze past. And it's just like how beautiful all these small things are.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, so let's send her some love as she gets ready to sing us this song. Ashlyn, we love you.
We love you.
Love you.
Thank you. Okay. I see trees of green and red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, bright blessed day and the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Colors of a rainbow so pretty in the sky are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Wow. Bravo. That's so beautiful. I just want you to just take a moment and look at the faces of the people on this call, you know, and think about that message that Ashlyn shared with us. And think about, you know, what a beautiful world that we're living in. All the opportunity that we have. Parker gave us such wisdom that so many things are in our lives, and it's up to us to decide how we see them and how we respond to them. And what golden opportunities that we have all around us, especially with these beautiful, beautiful souls that we love. You know, I see, actually, I'm just going to say, Jacqueline, for 1 second, what's your response as you're listening to that song and thinking about the message that Ashlyn shared and Parker shared?
Ooh, she's got me in tears. Like it's just you could feel from like Parker and Ashlyn and everybody that spoke. It's like, don't you guys feel it? Like, oh my gosh, I'm just bubbling over. It's like a sonic boom of positivity and love and potential and inspiration and the wisdom that comes from these patooties. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say patooties. I'm a mama, so. But it's just like, oh, it just hits you right here in the heart. And it's just a blessing for all of us. I think it's just a gift that you guys all gave by showing up, and it's a choice. And I wanted to commend the people that came on today and were willing to speak, and the Parkers of the world and the Ashlyns that are willing to just like step up and lean into whatever it is that's calling them to have their voice, because we need you. And we just, it's touched me for sure. So.
Oh, so powerful. Thank you, Ashlyn. Ashlyn, you know, as we're thinking about, first of all, music, you know, first of all, I just want to read some of these messages from people.
Yeah.
Nia, both to Parker and to Ashlyn, says, let's see what it is here. Oh my goodness. There's so many good things here, but basically that, oh my goodness, I'm just scrolling through this chat and so many beautiful things people are sharing. Nia says the music inside will lead you to the truest expression of your divine self. So trust it. You know, the music inside will lead to the truest expression of your divine self. So trust it. Ashlyn said so many comments. And Michael says, it's so great you realize this. You'll never be more whole and complete than you are in this moment. So beautiful. Richard says, thank you, Parker, for your wisdom. Don't let the noise affect your music. Your truth is what comes from your heart. Thank you for your strength. Jacqueline says, oh, this is you, Jacqueline.
Yeah.
Basically saying that's such a profound realization, Ashlyn, especially at your age. So powerful. Chris, building a group of good habits. Excellent. Andrea says, wow, what a wonderful world. Justice says, my favorite song. You're going to make me cry, Ashlyn. So beautiful. Love, 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 and some more love. I just want to say that, you know, these moments that we have together, this moment in time, this day is precious. You know, actually just yesterday, I started to get emotional actually. And I was just sitting on the couch over here. I just started to tear up, just thinking how grateful I am, you know, for so many people that have showed up in my life. And in this group, people that are translating the book. I mean, I see some of them on the call, Eliza translating into Russian, so many others that are helping translate. The book has already been translated into 6 languages and working, wow. People are working to translate it into 27 languages. It's only barely been published. But to me, it's like it's a labor of love and a way in which the miracles can expand. And so I was thinking about that. I was thinking about Monica, that I never even met, but has devoted so much love. I was thinking about Yane that's on this call that says, we want to have this clinic today. And so sponsoring it. Liba, who's on this call, had me show up on a Zoom call this week, in which she just wanted to spread these miracles and this love, you know. Roni, who's on this call, she's starting the book club, you know, so she has something called the Evolving Health Education, where they do book clubs, online book clubs, and they're using this book starting on November 21st until December 12th. So once a week for 4 weeks, having it so we just delve into really what are the secrets and how to apply them in our lives in a way that's even different from the Miracle Experiment game. So there's a way in which you can join that if you're interested. Allison, Mike, who's just on this call so much of the time and sharing his miracle experience that just continues to evolve and the contagious healing coming from it. John, I just don't want to call you out all the time, but I just love you and I'm just so impressed by you. Sebastian, many of you don't know Sebastian, but he created an app for the Miracle Experiment game that many of you are going to have a chance to use. But it's an app where sometimes the trickiest part, I don't know, Jacqueline, if you'll agree, but the trickiest part is the first week or 2 weeks of doing anything different. And the nice thing about having this community or having an app is that you can just mark it every week, and it can bring you through where you start to feel a little bit worse to where you start to feel amazingly better, you know? So Sebastian, Ryan, and Christina, and Danny, who do so much work on the foundation. This week, we're gonna have a special call for those who want to participate and just brainstorming, how do we love these kids and create this miracle in their life? Aaron, Robert, so many others who are sharing ideas about what to do for the foundation. Ashlyn, I just want you to come on again just for a moment.
Yes.
I love you so much. What you shared today and the song you shared just touched my heart and just inspired us just to really pay more attention to what a beautiful world this is. So I just want to say I thank you. Thank you for showing up as your beautiful self, as your powerful self, you know. As you've been going, you know, 2 weeks ago, you've had this realization about how powerful you are. As you go back, as you went back to normal life, how did you help yourself to remember that? Like what happens as you, with your family and with school and with everything, what helps you remember that power that's in you?
Well, like, first of all, I went to the event in Utah, like remembering that this one event isn't going to change my life. And like, it's not going to be this, like after this, it's not going to be like automatically better, and that it would be some work still. And I got back and kind of like spiraled a little bit, and like, because when I get back from any trip, it's just kind of hard, like, because now I'm back home and have to face reality again. So it's been kind of hard, but it's been easier, like realizing that I am strong enough and that I have this ability to use this strength to get me past the hard parts. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. So what I want to do for this last half hour of this call, I want to go into this thing about how can we realize the strength that's within us, you know, and the power that's within us. And we're going to end at the half hour mark, but we're actually going to go into breakout rooms in a moment. We're going to talk about, you know, specifically one of the secrets that Dr. Ram shared is that whatever is the heartache, the challenge, the difficulty that you're facing has within it the seeds of equal or greater benefit. Parker said it so beautifully. Things show up, but there's many dimensions in which they exist, in which we can receive them. You know, in the miracle experiment game, we talk about Aditi Devo Bhava, which is treating the unexpected guest as if God himself or herself has arrived. So all of us have certain challenges or difficulties or heartaches that we're facing. In fact, right on this call right now, if I'm going to ask you for who feels like they're facing some kind of major transition in their life right now? Anyone feel like they're going through some major transition? Super. So in the transitions, how do you tap into that wisdom that's within you? In fact, I was just on the mentor call. We have a whole bunch of people that have signed up to be miracle mentors that are masters. And we were talking about how you can, Dr. Ram says, the greatest need in human history isn't love, but it's actually understanding. And so how do you listen to understand? In fact, how do you listen to understand so people discover the solution within themselves? So you're not providing solutions for them, but they see the solution inside themselves. And then also, how do you do that for yourself? When a problem comes, how do you tap into that wisdom and that strength that's within you? In preparation for that, I just want to share, again, talking about a powerful youth that have showed up. Many of us know Padmalaya, who's been on these calls. And, you know, she talks about how, imagine when you wait your whole life to have a child, and then you have a child and you discover the child has autism, you know, and the world doesn't have a solution, you know, or modern science doesn't have a solution. Well, Padmalaya is such a beautiful example of someone that didn't accept that as her reality, you know. According to Dr. Ram, actually kids that are autism, ADD, ADHD, they're actually geniuses. And so it's just helping them anchor that energy in a way that the genius can come out. And this week, Padmalaya shared some amazing news. So actually, even though her son Carson now is working, he's at his job, you know, and he has a fantastic job, but he had some great news this week. So even I wanted to record this and share it with you because it's so powerful to see when you're framing your world of what's possible, hearing these kinds of things helps. So here's Carson. All right, so excited to be here with Carson. Carson, welcome.
Thank you, Clint. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, a lot of us have been blessed because we know your mom had Malaya for months now, and she's inspired us just with her presence and her wisdom, and she's been holding back, I think, one of the most priceless gifts, which is getting to know you more. So, I want to say to everyone, I had the gift of meeting Carson months ago, and he gave me some very good movie recommendations. So you want to know a good movie, he's a good person to contact. But even more exciting, Carson, you have some real exciting news about this week, what happened for you. Can you share what's been happening this week?
Oh, sure. So this week I got my driver's license. I went to the BMV and they had, because it's COVID, they had this shoulder test. You don't actually go out on the road, which is nice. And I passed.
What's it feel like to drive on your own?
Oh, it feels great. I love just going to work on my own. Just when I want, being able to leave work without like having to wait for anyone. And I feel more, I guess, self-confident and independent. Because it took a while just for me to get my driver's license. We practiced kind of sporadically throughout my life, but now it's done. I'm really happy.
So exciting, so cool, and super inspiring, you know? So if you could just share, even just in a couple of minutes, like your path. Like, I mean, you're so inspiring who you are and what you're doing, and it inspires a lot of people what's possible. Can you share like what you remember as far as your journey?
Sure. Well, going back, I guess, to my younger childhood, I don't really remember, I guess, having autism, because I know mom's probably talked about that with the group. But I just remember it as my childhood. I remember like playing with Thomas the Tank Engine, or like hanging out with childhood friends, being at my first school. I've been in Montessori schools my whole life, so that's been a big part of it. Especially when I was younger, my first school was this really small school. The head mistress or master of the school, I guess, was Sri Lankan actually. And she kind of embodied a lot of, I guess, the ancient healing secrets in her own way. So I just remember things about that school, and that was a lot of my childhood. And I just remember like being with my family. Like my cousins were, and still are to this day, very close to me. I don't have any siblings, so it's mom, my cousins are really like the closest people in my life. They're like brothers and sisters to me. And then I have cats. I'm sure you've seen one on the call.
One question I wanted to ask you is, what, for other kids, you know, they don't have to even have autism, not autism, but most kids nowadays, it's a tough world, you know?
Yeah.
Tough world. And lots of kids can face all kinds of challenges, you know, mental, emotional, physical challenges. But what's some inspiration you give anyone that's in the midst of a challenge or struggle right now? Something that you would say might help them?
I would say just to, well, like, believe in yourself and not get caught up in worrying about what other people are doing necessarily, or because I feel like when I care about things that are maybe like outside of myself, like maybe, I don't know, the media or like the newest trend online or something like that, like a new song or whatever, it's just like I forget it, or it doesn't matter to me. And I've always been someone who sometimes I'm a bit more of a shy person, but I feel like it's important to me to just have a few friends who are really good. Just part of how I got into this group, mom's been telling me about how it's positive. You know, it's a positive group of spiritual people, which that's like, hey, I like that.
I'm curious, what have you noticed in your mom since she's been a part of the Miracle Experiment game and these calls? Have you noticed any changes in her or difference in her? I'm just going to pause that right now and come back. And he says that he noticed that she's become more artistic. She does more art and focuses more on her creativity. And then he also talked about how together he's actually been reading the book to his mom, you know, during the breaks when they don't have much time. And he actually goes out of his way to read the book, read chapters to his mom, just for inspiration. So Padmala, if you could unmute yourself, I just want you to share, what is it like to see, first of all, what was it like the moment when you heard that your son had autism and you discovered that? What was that emotionally to you? And then just compare that to what it's like now to hear him speak in front of a group like this in this way.
Well, there wasn't one moment specifically when I knew he had autism. When he was born, immediately there were really drastic and multiple problems like across the board. So it was just very confusing for the first couple of years. And it took time to start sorting it out. It was like I was lost in a nightmare, like really a really horrifying nightmare. And I just wanted to wake up and I couldn't. And he was obviously in terrible pain and distress, and I couldn't help him. It was the worst thing I've ever experienced. I was, practically, I was almost suicidal. And, alone I lived out in the country, and I'm alone with this screaming child with all these problems day after day. It was really a nightmare, honestly.
And what is it like now when you hear him speaking like this, have his driver's license, going to work, speaking with such beautiful, articulate passion?
I've been thinking about that because of, you doing this and him reaching this point. And this is what I always used to think about and dream of and focus on and hold on to and believe in and visualize. And it's so amazing to really realize, like, wow, we did it. And it's been so much hard work. Like we talk about sometimes that big changes can happen really quickly for us, but I think there are also situations where big changes, it's like what Ashlyn was saying, that you do the little things day by day, and then that builds up, and it's such a huge wow. It's really like, wow, I did this. Wow, we did this.
Yeah.
And it's very emotional. I'm really having to control myself to not just start bawling, like, wow, we did it.
Yes.
And there've been, it's just ongoing challenges. And then there were a lot of challenges. I got divorced 8 years ago, and there were continuing challenges after that. It's been a vigil. But I'm really proud of myself too, and I'm proud of Carson. So I really appreciate you highlighting him.
Oh, I'm just reading some of these comments. Like, for instance, Savan says, congratulations, Padmala and Carson. Sarabjit says, persistence pays. I love your story. Arlene's like, he's so confident, very confident and strong. Savan says, Carson can share his knowledge now with others in a positive experience, like being a mentor. There's so much love. I'm going to copy and paste this, but the main thing I want to do in this moment is just acknowledge that Padmala, Dr. Ram had secrets, and I interviewed many, many cases of parents that had kids that were autistic or ADD, ADHD, or severe on different kinds of, levels, but then ended up leading normal lives, even getting married, having their own children. I saw the whole context, but Padmala, she tapped into the wisdom that was in her even before getting the book or knowing Dr. Naram. And so one reason why I love this story is because it emphasizes that all you need is within you. Like Dr. Naram and these masters, they tapped into the wisdom that existed from source, and they brought it through in a way that's been preserved for thousands of years that we can benefit from. And at the same time, you have wisdom inside of you now that's independent of any book you read or any person you hear teach. In the silence, Dr. Ram told me, in the silence is where you find so much of that truth. So right now I'm going to break into a breakout room.
Can I just mention something really quick, if you don't mind? I just want to, second the motion on that, because that was a key thing. that I did in the early days with Carson that was a game changer right around the time he was 3 years old. I was actually exposed to that concept. It's interesting. Some things that came to me were very similar to what Dr. Naram teaches. And it's like I just pushed everything out of the way. Like if you imagine, you know, toys all over the floor, things that are coming into you, I just pushed everything out of the way and I went inward and I asked my heart and my soul, okay, what does my child need? And that was key.
Yeah, beautiful. And the whole goal of this whole ancient science, this school of thought, is not to make anyone dependent, but actually make you independent. And
Yes.
so what Padmalaya demonstrated and why she resonated so much when this miracle experiment game came was because she's like, oh, that's what I was doing. You
And
know,
at that point, when I discovered that concept, I stopped searching outside myself completely.
yeah.
And I completely stopped searching
Yeah.
and just got present with myself and with Carson.
And now you can see Carson does that. You know, he's so strong and independent. And so what I want us to do is everyone have an experience right now to tap into what is your heart's truth? You know, actually, that's the question that we're going to ask on this call, on this breakout group. You're in the breakout group. You're going to have a chance to just share for 1 minute. What is your heart's truth? So it could be something that's your takeaway from this call. It could even be something no one even said, but just something you felt and realized as a result of being in the space of love. You know, the opening quote in the book is so true. I didn't come to teach you, I came to love you, and love will teach you. So what is love? What is your heart's truth? What is your heart's truth? So we're going to go into breakout groups right now. We're just going to have the breakout room. You're only going to have about 1 minute each to share. So it's going to be a short time, and then we're going to come back for some closing experience in which we solidify all this knowledge and all this love together in this moment and anchor it in right now so we can launch into this day with that wisdom, that knowledge, that power, that strength, that love, and that guidance. So right now, you're going to have a breakout room, and there's going to be about 5 to 6 other people in your breakout room with you. Again, just unmute yourself, and one by one, you'll just share for 1 minute. What is your heart's truth? What is your heart's truth? All right, so, and then we'll all come back together. I'm opening the rooms. Just go ahead and click on the place where you can go into your breakout room and share. What is your heart's truth? What is your heart's truth? Beautiful. And for those that stay in this main room, actually maybe Mike and Sani, you can stay in this main room. Anyone else who stays in, we'll just have you share here in this space. Let's see here. All right. Super. All right. Let's see. Mike, if you want to start, what is your, actually, let's have Sani. Let's have the more beautiful person in the video share.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for letting me speak. Well, so many thoughts going through my mind when I am here with this beautiful group and these people sharing their stories and their love and their life lessons. Takes me back to the day that I met Dr. Naram, and I'm so grateful that you set that up back then. I didn't realize how that would affect my life, right? And I think more so for the past several months, where I have learned to tap into my own truth and my own healing power. And that stood out to me the last time in the call where you said, and you say it again and again, that Dr. Naram says, I'm not healing you, you're healing yourself. And I think that is so true. I had 2 experiences lately where my body was hurting. I mean, there was something wrong with my body. And through drinking the teas that I recommended and eating more mung bean soup or mung beans in general, and having that self-talk that, no, my body is fine, my body is healed. I've made that change. I just had a really big fall from climbing indoors, and my elbow, I thought it was fractured or even broken because it was so painful. And I just talked to myself and drank tea and ate mung beans, and I'm doing fine. So I really believe in the power of healing yourself through your teachings and Dr. Naram's teachings.
Oh, beautiful. It's so powerful. I'm so glad you brought that up. You know, he always says, I'm not a healer, I'm a midwife, you know, and the healing is there. In fact, in one way of looking at things, I love Parker said there's so many ways of looking at things. One way of looking at things is that you're already healed, actually. It's just remembering that, you know. Oh, so powerful. All right, Liba, I want you actually, then I'm going to come back to you, Mike, if that's okay. But
Zoom
Liba,
actually kicked me out. I don't know why. Like it shut down, and
Yeah.
I've never had that. It's like what just happened, and it made me come back. So I'm
I
here
think
with you guys.
because I think we went over, like we overloaded the system. More people were trying to get in, so I'm gonna have to make the room bigger next time. But what's your heart's wisdom? What's your takeaway from today? What is your heart's wisdom?
My heart's wisdom. So I'm actually riding on a huge high from yesterday. So I've actually I do Ironman, and yesterday this kid Chris Niki, I can't say his name. He is 20 years old with Down syndrome and decided he wants to do Ironman. And it was crazy. He did it. You have 17 hours to complete it. He finished in like 16 hours and 50 minutes or something. And he did it. 20-year-old kid with Down syndrome. And he decided, and his dad even said like a year and a half ago, I didn't even let him in the water alone. And now he's swimming 2.4 miles in the water. And it was just like, I went live on my page, watching it, just the emotions and just learning it. And I mean, hearing Carson, hearing just everyone, I'm always a huge believer that there's so much more that we have to give, to do. Like I got in trouble my whole life. I had ADHD. I still do technically. And I went off meds in January because I decided I don't need this. Like I drink coffee to go to sleep. I could take 60 milligrams of Adderall and go to sleep because it doesn't do anything. And so I'm really just learning how to, I'm reading more of your book. The mung bean soup is great. I don't know. I learned I could have quinoa and rice, which is definitely helpful. I forgot what you asked already, honestly.
What's your heart's wisdom? What does your heart know? What truth? What's your heart's truth, I should say, too?
My heart's truth is that I don't really understand the question, but more that just, I guess, I just truly believe in good in the world. That like people are just want to do good, and I just trust people all the time. Like I would study in Starbucks or places in Manhattan and just leave my MacBook out, my books, and go to the bathroom, go get food. And someone asked me once, you're not scared like someone's gonna steal your stuff? I'm like, listen, I need it. But if someone steals my stuff, I really hope they need it more. And I just like, I don't know. I always see the good in people, which isn't, it's good, but it's not, you have to not trust people sometimes. Like I'm very gullible. I trust people too much,
So your heart's wisdom is to trust.
I guess.
Beautiful. Well, I just want to say, I think you have one of the most beautiful hearts, Liba. So beautiful. And the way that you show up, always so full of love. So thank you for that. Yeah.
Liba
All right.
actually means love, heart, and soul, and core.
I like that. So cool. I told everyone in the breakout rooms they only had 3 minutes left. So Mike, you got probably like 2 minutes to share. What's your takeaway? What's your heart's wisdom?
Just a beautiful call and beautiful song about the wonderful world. And, you know, there's personal healing, but there's also global healing, and everything that's been happening in the US, that, you know, there's a healing that's being called for, but there's also people that are hurting, that maybe things didn't go the way that they voted with their, not just their dollars, but their ballots, and so much healing that needs to be taking place right now in so many hearts. And you know, this work, you know, if there was a Hmong soup for the planet, let's find that. And I think this is part of it. And you know, this is a dose of Hmong soup for the planet.
Beautiful. All right, Mikhail Dubovic. Did I say your name? I probably slaughtered it. Forgive me, but.
Hello. Hello, it's very nice to be here with you in this group. So what's my heart's secret? I'm not really sure how to answer this question, but the thing that came to my mind, or maybe heart, was something like freedom in very like soft sense, like very, very nice and loving freedom, something like that.
Beautiful. That feels really good. That feels really good. Thank you for sharing that. So beautiful. And where are you joining from?
I'm joining from the Czech Republic.
Czech Republic, awesome. And how did you hear about this group?
Well, I bought the book, Ancient Healing Secrets.
Yeah.
I found out about this whole like movement or about these informations from your TEDx talk about half a year ago. And then slowly I came closer and closer. And then about 3 or 4 months ago, I bought the book, and it's very enriching my life. It's very, for me, it's great gift for me. I feel like that.
Oh, beautiful. You know, this one person that I was with recently, Verenia, she told me, she's like, you know why the book is so powerful? She says, why this wisdom is so powerful is because it always redirects people back to themselves. You know, and really that's the powerful thing that I love what people have just been sharing in this breakout room is, what is your heart's wisdom? What is the wisdom that's inside of you? And this ancient secrets, one reason why it's so powerful, so healing, and I love what Sani just shared in our little experience. She says that Dr. On would always remind us that, no, he's not the healer. Actually, you're the healer. He's the midwife. And in this lineage, this school of thought, part of it is that any student can become a master, but also that anyone who comes to us, it's not like we're doing them some great favor. It's that we have the honor and the gift of seeing the divine in them, and the divine in them has the answers and has the healing. And all we need to do is help bring it out through nature and through natural ways, help facilitate. Your body's natural state is health. Your mind's natural state is curiosity, openness, wanting to learn. Emotions, natural state is love, you know. Dr. Om says, how do you know if someone's young versus old? Someone can be 100 years old if they're physically rigid, mentally stubborn, and emotionally dry. Or another person can be, someone can be 20 years old if they're that. Or someone could be 100 years and still young if they're physically flexible, mentally alert, and emotionally full of love. In fact, on these calls, we often have someone who reminds me so much of that type of youthfulness and love. And she always has a heart sign with her. I don't know if she's still on or not. I don't see her on anymore. But also my mom reminds me so much of that youthfulness. So in honor of directing us to ourselves, you know, of honor of these ancient science and these ancient secrets and discovering your heart wisdom, I have just some music that I want to play. It's an audio track, but I'm just gonna, if I invite you actually to turn on your camera, you turn on your camera, and I want to spotlight one by one each person. And I just want you to love this person and all the wisdom and all the insight and all the love and all the truth that's inside of them. Right before I do this, I just want, oh, Kathy. Yeah, Kathy, we love the heart sign. I don't know if Kathy's still on or not, but before that, I just want to say that this upcoming week, next Sunday is the first day of the Miracle Experiment game. For those that want to participate, we'll send out the link, making sure you're signed up. Also this week on either Wednesday or Thursday, we'll do a brainstorming group for how people can participate in helping these orphan kids in Nepal, which is a really fun thing and a beautiful experience to have. If you haven't already signed up for the Global Healing Miracle Experiment, it's a good thing to do because you not only contribute to the orphanage, but you can also infuse your life with so much healing energy. If you are a healer, especially, it's for you. It's so that you don't feel alone, you're not isolated, but the power of everyone together, we can literally change life on this planet. Liba says, thank you for this call, Clint, and for everyone being here. What a blessing to start the day this way. So beautiful, so true. So now in this moment, I just want you to we'll take 1 or 2 deep breaths together. I'm gonna start this music and I'm gonna just spotlight video by video different people, and then we'll have this experience together. Okay, I'm gonna share computer sound. Mike, I'm not exactly sure if I'm gonna do this right, so I'm gonna do my best. I'm just clicking share computer sound. Do you see
actually go to the advanced so you're not sharing your screen, and tab and just share your computer audio, and I can do the spotlighting.
Okay, if I just go to share screen and I click on advanced sharing options.
And then computer audio.
I don't see that there in that for me. Let's see, one more time.
It should say music or computer sound only under the advanced tab in the share.
Okay. Well, when I click on advanced, it doesn't do that for me exactly. But what I will do is, I click on advanced and it just says, only gives me these options. How many participants can share at a time? Who can share? And
Oh, not in the setup. It's actually when you should go share screen.
oh, when I actually click it. Got it. Oh, and then I click advanced. Oh, beautiful.
Yes.
Oh,
And then make sure the bottom corner of the box is checked for share computer sound.
okay, great. Super. All right, so then we're gonna start. So just starting this, let's take in one deep breath together.
Okay.
Wow. Oh. It's like a tour around the world of such beautiful faces and hearts and wisdom that it's remarkable. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being you. Thank you for coming, investing in yourself, your time. You know, all of us are here for a reason, you know, and this is an exciting time to be alive. The future, this moment in time is so sacred. And so thank you for sharing it together. Yeah, I would say if you know anyone that wants to experience more miracles in their life, invite them to participate in the Miracle Experiment game. We'll have it easy. We'll send a video, a link that you can share. And today, this sacred day, tap into your wisdom and tap into that love and just be you, perfectly you, you know? So in honor of how we end these calls, we're just gonna unmute everyone and you can say, I love you and I'm with you. Namaste.
I love you.
Love
I'm
you.
with you.
Love
Love you and I am
You
with
and I'm
you.
with you.
Love you, I'm with you.
Love you guys.
Love you and I'm
Love
with
you
you.
and I'm with you.
Love you.
Love you and I'm with you.
I love you and I'm with you.
I love you and I'm with you.
I love you, Michelle.
Love you and I'm with
I
you.
love you and I'm with
Barbara.
you.
Love you. Love you and I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you. I love you and I'm with you. I love you and I'm with you.
I love you and I'm with you.
I love you.
Love you and I'm with you.
Love you.
So beautiful. I love it when I'm with you. Thank you everyone who shared today, these amazing youth that showed up, Danny, Parker, Carson, Ashlyn. Thank you, Jacqueline, for sharing your story, Padmalaya. Thank each of you for showing up and being you. I love you and I'm with you. Looking forward to seeing you next week. Namaste.